both of them. So Jin, who was one of the 3 overnight co-leaders, couple under par for her round. She rounds out the top 3. E.G. Hyun had a nice tournament last week at the Aurora World Championship. She's going along well today. 1 under par for her round, but that putt coming up just a little shy. Officially into the second half of the season. SBSGolf Masters stage for the 13th time this year. A dozen notable champions, including the likes of current world number 3, Yoo Hae-ran. This is Kim Min-sun trying to get herself under par. Quick stroke, didn't like it. Languishing right now at even. Cut will come at the end of play today. Those 60 and ties. Here's Park Hye-jun. Good tee shot into 7. Chance to move to 5 under par. That projected cut right now sitting at 1 over par, so that's not good news for former runner-up here, Choi Ye-rin. She's out at +2. Kim Jae-hee will have an opportunity in this afternoon wave to try and make up some ground. So too will So Hyun. Here's Seo Jin trying to take the outright lead here at the par 5 8th. Just slides a little wide. We've seen players struggle to read some of these greens early in this championship. Coincidentally, defending champion Go Ji-won. Her sister, Go Ji-yu, the Haiwan Resort Ladies Champion, not going to be around for the weekend. Pair of 77s to start her week and therefore end it at +10. So no second title of the year for her. Here's former player of the year, Yoo Hyun-jo. That one just teetering by on the high side. Starting her day on the back 9, so still early days in her round. Bogey the 12th, birdie the 13th, and she's going to have quite a bit of work to do for par there at 14. Here's Park Min-ji. Been a colourful but solid start for the now 20-time champion on tour. Birdies on her first 3, bogeyed the 4th, birdied the 5th, and looks like she's going to pick up her first par of the day. And 3 players to reach 20 victories on the KLPGA Tour. That is some impressive stuff, and she's keeping some good company, Park Min-ji. The late Koo Ok-hee and former world number 1 Shin Ji-ai as Min-sun cleans up for her par without any incident. Both Go sisters missing the halfway cut. Mentioned Ji-yu at 10 over par. Go Ji-won, last year's winner, rounded 73 today, backing up her 75 from yesterday. So she is out, and there will be a new champion here at the Samdasoo Masters. Park Hye-ji had a solid opening round yesterday of 66, the only player to post 66 bogey free, but she's coming off back-to-back bogeys, leaving her at 4 under par. Chance to get one back. Did record a top 15 finish last time out at the Aurora Resort. That's a 1 billion Korean won total prize fund up for grabs this week, with 180 million going to be heading the way of our champion. statistically speaking, even if the number 2 player on the money list right now, Saw Kyorim, were to do that, and Kim Min-sol not bank a big enough check, and still be Min-sol who leads the money and points list going into next week's Mediheal Hankukilbo Championship. Min-sol with over 190 million Korean won lead. Struggled yesterday with a 74, but a good finish to her round today, 71. She, at the moment, sits at 1 over par, so should be pretty much a lock to cash another check and keep that impressive made cut streak in 2026 alive. So very good news indeed for the 3-time tour champion this year. We're watching some highlights of players who teed off in the morning wave, and sadly we're not going to see much more of them throughout the course of the week. All these players going to be missing the cut, although that was a lovely eagle on the 4th, much like Kim Min-sol managed in her morning round of 71. Didn't have a hole-in-one last week. Son Yebin is going to try and give one a whirl here. He wasn't a million miles away. Still no hole-in-one yet this week either. 3 withdrawals. Kim Se-romi, who factored strongly last week, Hong Hyun-ji and Lee Jae-yeon. But all 3 of them weren't playing particularly well, so no real effect on the cut mark. Saw into the 9th. Got a 7-iron from 137. Saw that flag in the back segment of the green yesterday, not yielding many birdies. I expect this front hole location to be just a little bit more generous on day 2. Here's Kang for par. A little bit careless with that 3-putt. Surrenders a 2nd bogey of the day. That'll slip her back down outside of the top 10. Last week's winner, Lee Daeon, out of the field this week, having a little bit of a rest. EA1 is contesting, but she's cruising along, stuck in neutral at even par. Here's Lee Ji-hyun coming into 9, playing alongside Seo Jin. Less club. A bit more height. And gets that to stop much quicker. Beautiful shot. Still seeking that first professional victory. She's knocked on the door a number of times in 2026. Could this be the year she gets herself into the winner's circle? Good look there at the par 3 7th, where our featured group for this second round now gets set to take to the tee. Pretty wide green. Doesn't look very shallow when you're standing back on the tee, but you got ample room. Solid shot from Park. He holds 2 KLPGA Tour records that reflect her dominance on tour over the last couple of years. Money earned in a single season, just over 1.5 billion won. Total career earnings, she could get to 7 billion won by the end of this season. Joe trying to step on a pitching wedge. Plenty of power in that golf swing. All over it. Beautiful shot from you. Stranger to having the spotlights on her. Fortunate talent talented player. Got her first win on tour as an amateur, but strangely that never counts. I don't understand how that works on the KLPGA Tour. An earlier season at the Nexen St. Nine Masters at Gimhae Gaya. And that's the reason why these three are in your feature group this afternoon. 3 excellent tee shots and good birdie looks to come here at the par 3 7th. Here's Shin Dae-in, one of your overnight co-leaders, just in the infancy of her second round. She's giving it a go here at the par 5 fourth. Already seen a couple of eagles today. She's 1 under par through 3. For a brief moment that was on the green, but you'll hear no complaints from her. That's 2 good hits and a lengthy eagle putt. Gets that down in 2. She'll move back into a share of the top spot. Yu So-yeon on that cut line at the moment. So every one of these putts hugely important. Well done. Gets her back to even par. Large number of golf courses here on the island of Jeju. Teddy Valley, just one of a number of excellent championship layouts. Located just off the southern tip of the Korean peninsula. Now here's Yu, first to go for birdie at 7. Little down the hill, moving off the right. Yeah, well done. Oh, got the putter going early. That'll move her up into solo 11th at 5 under. Jenny Sung. 23 under par for her round today. Seen that a lot in the opening round. These greens very soft and resistive. Taking players a while to adjust. Greens are pretty firm and bouncy last week at Europe. Those firm greens at the Aurora Resort last week. Takes a little bit of adjusting. It's all part of the professional game. She 2 putts for her par. Now Min-ji, great chance here on 7. Also coming downhill. Just a little bit of movement off the right. Stay pretty straight on her. So a couple of good chances missed on 6 and 7. It's an ominous presence, just lurking outside the top 10. You want to see that lady's name in your rearview mirror come the weekend. Just a soft little one into the 8th. Yeah, the advantage of the softer greens is those shorter pitch shots shorter wedge shots where you're not going to get as much spin and stopping power as you normally would. You're going to get that ball to settle quite quickly. Now E.G. here trying to get within one with a birdie look on 9. Lovely approach with a wedge. And a nice conversion. So hits to the turn at 2 under par and just within 1 shot of the 3 co-leaders. Insun, straightest of the 3 birdie putts on 7. There she hit it. Oh dear. Nothing more frustrating as a professional golfer than seeing the putt just die short of the front door. She remains even par. Eagle putt now for Shin Dae-in, cross country and up and over a little crest. Outside of 70 feet, so you get this one inside of 4 feet, you'd be pretty proud of your effort. You're pretty good. To 8. It's going to be the 3-wood for Yoo Hyun Jo. Sensitive hitting driver. It's a long par 5 that goes uphill as well. 3-shotter for pretty much the entire field. It's down as if that came off the club face a little funny, but okay. Aerial look. You see the light shaded cut of the fairway. Makes this tee shot look a lot tighter than it actually is. As far as tee shots go here at Teddy Valley, probably one of the wider ones that you're going to have. You've got a little bit more room right than you think. The shape of this hole sets up so nicely for Minjee's stock draw. No, when she reaches down for that tee quickly, she is feeling comfortable, she's feeling confident. That's a dangerous combination at the park. Let's go up to JejuSamdasoo. Hit on the green. 5 shots off the pace right now. From about 18 feet. Need a little bit more legs. Oof. Try though. For the 2-putt birdie. Didn't look like the most committed stroke, and that's a real shame. Find the edge of the green in 2 and a par 5 and walk off with no ground gained. Here's Park on the 8th. One by as well. That is the case every week in professional golf. The player with the hot putter usually gets the job done, but you feel it's going to be even more exacerbated this time out. Greens being as tricky as they are at Teddy Valley. Down the fairway, Yoo Hyun Jo trying to nudge this one up to a comfortable yardage. hole cut just in a little bit of a hump. Yun-Se Lin having a rotten week so far. That par putt sticking on the lip is going to do little to soothe her suffering at the moment. Propping up the pile at 18 over par. It was an 80 yesterday. It's not going to be improved very much now. Minjee started that a little further left than she would have liked. Going to hold on. Ooh, just into that left rough. Well, action coming thick and fast in this second round of the Samdasoo Masters. As it was overnight, it's a three-way tie for the lead, but this time at 8 under par and including Jae Jung-won and Moon Jung-min. Like we've just found a little trouble down the right of 10. Seo Jin making the turn in a share of the lead. Coming in with the heavy artillery from 166, but what a shot this is. Just needs to crest that rise. Ooh, just hangs on to that middle shelf. That's a good break. Now back to the par 4 ninth. birdie opportunities on this hole with that front hole location this Friday. And that's going to be another one. In the distance, the tallest peak in all of South Korea, Mount Hallasan. Mount Halla, I should say, Hallasan. There's an old myth that everything on the island of Jeju breaks away from Mount Halla. Not always the case, but a good guide, a good bit of reference. Highest point in the topography around a golf course. Everything tends to funnel away from that as Minji just settles one up pin high there on 8. Just kept it out of the thicker rough, Yu Hyun-jo, and referenced the more receptive greens. This not a challenging shot at all, particularly from 92 meters. Should just be a smooth cat wedge, maybe even a sand wedge. Just a little thin, will work out nice. Player that needs a little spark. She starts making 1 or 2 birdies. She's going to get rolling. Such a momentum game, this. Identical yardage, but coming from the fairway can carry it the full distance. And she will. Excellent shot.
Worker.
Won late last season and early this year. Kim Hae-gaya, which I referenced, so 2 victories in the last 12 months for that young lady. We'll go back to the 10th, and Ji-hyun even further right than Seo Eun-jin. That certainly pitched hard. Goodness, goes scampering over the back of the green, and you can see the slopes that the players are going to deal with. You go over the back of 10, not an easy up and down. Back to 5 for Shin. Here's Park into the 9th. Pretty solid. One-time winner of the KLPGA Tour, Park Hye-jin has always been a very solid competitor year in, year out. Just 19 titles less than this lady. Park Min-ji looking for birdie at 8. Hitting good putts, just haven't been dropping. She'll remain patient. She knows it's a marathon, not a sprint. This is going to be a little tricky for Ji-hyun. Play a little runner. And get to tumble up that slope. You pitch it with too much loft, it just kills the upslope. Doesn't chase on. Trying to chase it, just didn't quite hit it hard enough. Now here's you. Little uphill, so can give this a firm wrap. firm. So, left to right to begin, and then pretty straight when it gets to the hole. I actually thought that was going to be a bit of a double breaker, but good pace on it. Min-sun, surely now she's going to move to red figures. Don't need to give the hole away. She's just seen Hyunjo a couple of moments earlier on an identical line. Yeah, well converted. Nicely played hole there. Yields a birdie for Kim Min-sun. Gets to red figures for the first time this week. Hugely exciting prospect, Yoo Hyun-jo. Rookie of the Year 2 seasons ago. Major champion, got that victory at the KB Financial Group Star Championship. Now Dae-in looking at this birdie putt on the 5th. Just past the pin on the left. Should be a relatively flat putt. Just started a hair outside left edge. Lacked a little conviction. Now on 9 from that upper level, Jung Yi-sung with a slippery one down the slope. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, good try.
어제보다 약간 우측 정면 앞바람이 있으니까. 플레이하겠습니다.
Back on the tee. Had that mini reroute at the top of a backswing. Change of direction, just drops the club to a slightly shallower plane. Very akin to a young Sergio Garcia. Not as pronounced as the great Spaniard, but certainly sets her for a really nice delivery into the ball. Back to the green for Park Hye-jun. Just holding steady. 2 under par 70 yesterday. 2 under par front 9 here. So Hye-jun. Meanwhile, Hyun-jo, very much a slightly more modern golf swing. Much wider at the top of the backswing than Park Min-ji. Still drops that club inside a little. Seem enamored with it. It looks like it popped off the top of the club face a little. It's not quite as far, but at least it's the fairway. First speed takes 3-wood off the tee quite a bit. Great tactician, doesn't need to overpower a golf course with driver. Here's another really solid tactician. Year 1. String of pars to start her second round, but an excellent shot into 9. Unfortunately, read that as well as you would a Russian dictionary. Nowhere near it for year 1. Picked up a 10th career title earlier on this season, but it's going to be 9 pars in a row to start Friday. And for par at 10, E.G. Hyun. Played so solid on Saturday, just over a week ago. Bogey free there, and then didn't make a single birdie on Sunday afternoon. Played in that final group alongside Kim Soo-ji and Lee Dae-yeon. Still recorded a really nice top 5 finish. Had a front row seat to what was probably one of the more remarkable finishes in the KLPGA Tour this season. Soo-ji standing on the 71st tee, the par 3 17th with a 2-shot lead. Finishing par bogey, Lee Dae-yeon finishing birdie to pip her to the title and become just the 17th player to reach 10 or more victories on the KLPGA Tour. What a stunning turn of events that was on Sunday afternoon. So it is going to be a bogey for E.G. Hyun. It'll slip her back a shot to 6 under. Surge in. Should be a pretty routine par putt. Joe just got it into that second cut. The angle's okay to the front pin, and the ball was sitting pretty clean. Oh, just a little high on the club face again, but not a horrible miss. Shot at the putting surface. It's one of those times where you wish you had just a little sort of feeding cut in the locker. Because for her to get it close to this pin, she's almost going to have to start it in between the flag and the edge of the TV tower, you can see. And that would bring that greenside bunker into play. She's in between clubs. I don't mind taking the shorter one here and just trying to hit it a little harder. Even if you do overwork it, short left, that's fine. Start on a pretty aggressive line, but that's headed left. Yeah, that's okay. No harm done. Some much more neutral ball flight than Park. Really stable, square club face at impact. The breeze, which, as we know all too well, can play a big factor on the island of Jeju, really hasn't been too much of a bother so far this week at the Samdasoo Masters. And setting up a little left, so to be trying to hit some kind of holding cut shot to this front right pin. Certainly got a lot of launch on that. Not her finest effort, but safely aboard. So a couple of birdie putts to come for Min-ji, Kim Min-sun as they play the 9th, trailing by a couple of shots. 3 leaders at 8 under par. Well, one of my old coaches would say this is one of those good player up and downs. Not a hard one, but easy to make soft bogeys if you're just a little off your strike. Kind of like that. Looked like she didn't quite accelerate into impact. That ball just sort of floated in there. So work to be done for Hyun-Jo as we go out to the 10th tee for JejuSam, starting her back nine at 3 under par. It's a long hole, but plays a little downhill. Get one down the left-hand side of the fairway in that downgrade section. Should get a little run. Just sticks in that right-hand side. So going to be a pretty slow putt from this portion of the 9th green. Laboring up that first portion of the hill for Kim. Nice try. Decent pace on that one. So going to be a pretty productive front nine of 2 under par for Kim Min-sun. Ji-hyun, middle of the fairway on 11. Nice crisp strike, turning this one in a little too much. Off. That's a touch unlucky for Park Hye-jun. Another pretty warm afternoon out here in South Korea. Temperatures in the low 30s and pretty humid as well. I alluded to it last week at the Aurora World Championship. It's just been a bit of a strange season so far for Year 1. To pick up that 10th career title earlier in the season at the Financial Group Open. It hasn't factored as strongly as she would have liked in her other starts. Still 6 top 10s this season, nothing to sniff at. Little down the hill here at 9, outside chance. That's another lovely roll. That's a really solid front side for Min-ji. Urgent sort of flag fluttering a little bit earlier on as Lee Ji-hyun was hitting, indicating that it's probably playing straight down, and that's nicely done. Important par saving putt. Doesn't hang on. And that is just a little untidy. Wasn't an overly complicated second shot she left herself, but she's going to walk off this green with a 5. to 6 with Shindai in off the downslope. That tee shot, little right. Can't quite see what her lie looks like at 10. Out of the fairway bunker. And she's going to have work to do herself at this par 4. John. With that hybrid club. You want to pitch this probably halfway between front edge of the green and the pin. He carried all the way into that back third. Saw how hard E.G. Hyun's ball bounced. Don't want to go scuttling over the back. Oh, that's beautiful. What a shot from Chun Hee-sung. To stop on a dime. A bit further down the fairway. She's got a good mental picture. Just watch Chun Hee-sung stick on in pretty tight. Pulled this a fraction. Not by much, but it's steady, steady. It's just caught that down slope, but should stay on the green. Yeah, it's going to be a pretty slow putt, but absolutely nothing wrong with that for Park Hye-jun. A lot of ball there, trying to play the high soft flop, just absolutely clobbered into it. E.G. Hyun's struggling here to start her inward half. 6 and Shindai in. Gentle right to left movement in this birdie putt. Oh dear, breaks across the front edge of the cup. Lovely effort. The outright lead. Not much in this, just got to hit it firm. Hits it firm, Urjin. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, these greens at Teddy Valley, they run so pure, but they are a lot slower than they initially appear. A number of putts being left short in the jaws. But still holding steady. Still got 2 par 5s to play on this back nine now for par. E.G. Hyun. Oh, well done. That's a real skin saver for Ji Hyun. Stays at 6 under. Didn't have to work that hard, but there's a reason why there's a big smile on her face. A driver out, you can really crank one down the fairway on 10. Seen a number of players get a big kick if you hit it down that left side. And it goes chasing away. It's a little extra run on it. Here's Minji. Set this one up down the right, hit that big looping draw down the fairway. Green is EA1, looks to have plenty of loft in her hands, so trying to pitch this, or fly this most of the way there with a little check. Delicate touch, wonderful from year one. Got a hybrid club. And does find a putting surface. So remember, this is pretty slow for Parkia Jin. Gotta give this a good wallop up that steep bank. Really nicely done. Not easy to do. Thinks yourself to give it a little extra oomph when you know that if you clobber it too hard, it's going to run away on the other side. Well paced. Here's Sung Yoo-jin. Defending her title at Blackstone in a couple of weeks' time. That's a lovely shot. Also going to be coming into 12 with a hybrid. Just clears that front bunker. What a tough leave there. After that sparkling second, JejuSamdasoo thought it would be a real bonus birdie to start her back nine. Oh, that's cruel. Did everything right on that hole. Unfortunately, that's just the game of golf. No one ever said it was fair. Looks like a bit of a matted down line in the right rough. Che-Yun, first look at her today. She's having a pretty productive start to Friday. 67 yesterday. Birdies on the 11th and the 14th, having started her round on the 10th. Here she is on 16. He had to gouge in after that one. Still wasn't able to get it on the front. Lovely aerial look at the start of this back nine at Teddy Valley. Lovely view at what Minji has coming into the green. Got to start it right at the TV tower. Started far enough right. Is it coming back? Not quite enough. And ooh, that is going to be a testy one. It's a beautiful second and a nice conversion for Sung Yoo Jin. Move her to 1 under. It's one of those shots where you can think of holding. Off the ground quickly, rolling like a putt. Gave it a mighty fine effort. You leading age dug in their toe, turned over, but gets a nice little kick off that shoulder and actually ends up in a pretty decent spot. It's going to be a slow putt from the lower level of this 12th green for Soa Jin. Trying to chase one along towards 16. Looking pretty tasty. Yes, very nicely judged. Shindayan. Cross-country effort at the par 3 7th from the back left edge of the green. Another fine effort. Important putt to try and stay in that share of the lead. Soa Jin at 12. Yeah, great 2-putt. Nice recovery. So that good save keeps her alongside Che Jung-won and Moon Jung-min atop the leaderboard here on day 2 at Teddy Valley. putt to navigate for Park Min-ji. Slow up and over that rise and tries to go left, but she absolutely bludgeoned that one through the first portion. Just subtle misses on this golf course can be punished in some instances. Now just hanging off the edge of the bunker, but safely on the grass is where we find JejuSamdasoo at 11. Got plenty of height on that one. Should stop fairly quick. Yes, well done. Good shot there from Jun. Out of position. She's crafted herself an excellent opportunity for birdie. Doesn't have to manufacture something too crazy. Operating out of the short stuff is Park Hye-jun and takes full advantage. Lovely shot. Yeah, got a nice kick off that side slope. And Joe, chance to recover. Birdie opportunity here on 10. Down to start, up a little around the cup, should be bending to her left. Line left a little to be desired. The pace was good. Complaining with a two-putt par on 10 today. It's one of those momentum-saving par putts you have to hold a couple of times in a round. Hold it, she does. Fabulous recovery for Park Min-ji. Well, didn't make a par in her first 5 holes. Has only made pars since. After that delightful second, here's Park on 11, coming downhill for birdie. Left. A little too much steam on it as well. It was not her finest effort. Metal, the choice of club off 11T for Yoo Hyun-jo. Seems satisfied enough with that. Down the left-hand side. Yep. Going with the big stick. A lot of room for missing on this hole. How quickly she snatched that tee up. Don't think this one's hit it anywhere but the center of the fairway. JejuSamdasoo. A little longer than the putt she missed on 11. She's got to put that from her mind. She put a good stroke on this one. Maybe just a ball outside right edge. Yeah, all is forgiven. Confidently rolled in for a 3. JejuSamdasoo to 4 under par. Just a little left in this one for Park's part. That she'll feel like she let get away. Kang Chae-yeon tee shot at the 17th. In that group it's 7 under and just a little long left on the par 3. Nice level lie after that layup on 13. Here's her 3rd to the par 5. Sticks it in there to about 12 feet. Solid shot. I'd love to do the same. Solid chin. Stuck in that tie for the lead for the last hour or so. Good scoring opportunity here with wedge in hand. Oh, even better when you can execute a shot like that. Beautiful. ENG. Really appetizing hole location for her. Yeah, right on cue. Lovely shot. I would say that it's not going to be the last shot stuck in close by this group on 11. 3 players with pretty identical yardages. And Joe just going to bust a pitching wedge there from 102. Just pulls it a fraction, but pin high. Here's Diane, another player that's been stuck in neutral since a pretty solid start. Par 5 8th, inside of 80 meters. That's a real good look, just from underneath the hole. So that ball sit down a little, and yeah, you could tell didn't commit to that. Sort of clunked into the back of it, and now facing a unnecessarily long putt for par. Ji-hyun. Just a little uphill. Should be a fairly straight putt. Gave the slope a little too much respect there. We know she's very capable of producing a moment of magic or two with this particular club. Here's JejuSamdasoo at 12. Trying to get it onto that back step. Oh, yeah, looks like she has found that back plateau. Really good shot. Pretty good as well for Park Hye-jun. Year one, who's still just plodding along at even par for her round, stuck on the par train, is the former rookie and player of the year. There's a really nice shot and a good chance to try and break the seal here at 12. So back to 17 and a par saving putt for Kang. Good amount of left to right in it as it works its way down towards the cup. So nearly a great escape. So can she finally get to 9 under par? No. You are kidding. It almost looked like that went over the edge of the cup. It's one of those times where you got to start staying patient. Don't want to force the issue. Just keep giving yourself chances. Eventually, one of these surely has to drop. Yet another par for Seo-jin. For bogey. Right, just creeps it in the side door, but safely below ground for Kang Chae-yeon. Joe will be showing Park Min-ji the line, although Min-ji doesn't look very interested. She gazes across the penalty area. This putt should have a little bit of movement off her left. Wow. Grazes the high side of the cup. Good attempt. The last couple of putts lacked conviction. That was certainly a more positive stroke, but the result remains unchanged. Fine spot. Should be trying to hold the putt from pretty much straight up the hill. He's got to hit it confidently enough. There's one thing she doesn't lack, it's confidence. Park Min-ji, 5th birdie of the day, within touching distance of the top 10 and within 3 of the lead. Just checking off the holes, being very solid so far, Shindai, not giving herself too much stress. Stay within 1. So the bogey for Kang slips her out of that share of 4th. It's still 8 under par, the score to beat on day 2. to inch her way up the leaderboard. Park Min-ji tees off on 12, trailing by 3. A long-ish par 4. But again, it's one of those hole locations that sets up really nice for Min-ji. Up at the left portion of the green, where we go to now for Yewon's birdie putt. Sort of free run at this. It's not going to be too pacey, gentle movement from right to left. Lovely try, but it's going to be a dozen pars for Yewon on Friday. I always love a hole that informs you of the shape that you're meant to hit your tee shot, and you stand on this tee and see the trouble down the left. I'm just trying to bend a little tight draw around it. Driver for you. Looking a little anxiously. It's just into that left rough, but sitting up nicely. Let's go to the par 3 14th with Soejin and a hybrid. Of the par 3s here at Teddy Valley, playing 165 today.
Okay.
Yeah, that is an excellent tee shot. Probably about a cup and a half of break off the right for Jenny Sung at 12. More than that, just needed more speed. Fraction tentative. Here's Sung Yoo-jin back on 13, dancing that one around the pin. Hit a beautiful wedge shot into 11. It looks like she's going to be moving to 2 under in a couple of moments. Now Park Hye-jin. It's about a little uphill and moving to her right. Can't get much closer than that. Unlucky. The 9th hole of Kang Chae-eun's day. Oh, needed 2-3 yards more, and that would have been a really good birdie look. Now she'll face a tough 2-putt. Sets up so nice for Min-ji. Start at that TV tower, let the draw do the rest. Yeah, solid pin high. She's in great control of her golf swing thus far on Friday. Sun. Better angle in just by virtue of being towards that right half of the fairway, back down at even par now after a bogey. Oh, wow. Must have taken offense to that because she's gone straight at the flagstick. The best shot we've seen into 12 today. Kim Jae-hee, top 10 finish last week, one-time winner on tour at the Singapore Women's Open, finds herself at 1 over par. Make that even par. brilliant little pitch in from a tricky spot. Kim Jae-hee gives herself a little breathing room to that projected cut line of +1. Just got to make sure you get it on that second tier of the green, asking for it to go. Just about. Here's Diane. The players had to be pretty patient today. The tee shot on 9, long ways up there, so can go on the attack to the front flag. Could have done with at least a club more. That's not her finest effort. Ji-hyun chipping for the back of 14, getting that one to chase along nicely. Steady, steady. Yeah, just rolls out a little, but that's pretty good. Jenny Sun trying to lay this one up on 13. Give herself a good yardage in for her third. She's going to be a little further back than we've seen most players into this par 5. To get to 9 under. Oh, hang on. A little fake out there. I'm surprised she's not backing off and going at it again. Yeah, curious. Stutter step start. Only you see someone back off and reset. It's just going to be another par for Saw. So an iron to lay up for Park Ye-jin on 13. Clearly has a number in mind. She's trying to leave herself for that third. To 18. Got to give this a good thump to get it up that steep rise. Oh, almost a birdie 3, but that's going to be a good 2-putt, all things considered. She'll head to the turn. 1 under par. Log jam of players, 5 in fact, at 6 under. 3 of them done for the day. Only Lee Ji-hyun and this lady, Kang Chae-yeon, still on the golf course. First putt for birdie on 12 will be Yoo-hyun Jo. Did well to navigate it onto the back plateau of the green from that left rough. Another putt left short. It's going to be pretty slow. Moves left early, then tries to come back the other way at the hole. Has she given it enough speed? Not quite. Here's Park Min-ji. She gets it rolling. Putts of this length, they go in plenty for her. Case in point, Park Min-ji now into that log jam at 6 under. She is looking ominous. But has a chance to make a little history this week. No player has gotten to 21 wins on the KLPGA Tour. Wouldn't that be something? Chun, a long ways into 13. Bit of breeze into her face as well. There it is, highest peak in South Korea, Mount Hallasan. A volcanic peak that dominates the landscape of the island of Jeju. Hyejin trying to do a little better than Jun-Yi-sung. Look good in the air, pulls up a little shy. And there was never a time to set herself up to break that string of pars. And this could be it on 13 for EA1. Wedge in hand, 65 meters. Real strength of her game, this department. Yep, you ask and she'll deliver. That's a beauty for year one. Par saving putt on 14. Oh, just a little high. Like that was a little push as well. Stroke not quite as free-flowing as it's been in the past now. What should be a garden variety birdie conversion coming up for Kim Min-sun at 12 after that spectacular approach. Just right edge. Straight into the bottom. Nice little bounce back for Kim Min-sun. Showed off her short game touch over the weekend. Last time out at the Aurora Resort. A different kettle of fish this Friday for Lee Ji-hyun. Drops a second bogey since making the turn. At 13 and sticking to her game plan. Going with a 3-wood, Yoo Hyun-jo. Such a momentum player, Park Min-ji, and that momentum squarely in her corner. 5 under par for her Friday round with 6 holes to play. Started right, hanging a little right, going to finish up in the rough, but again on a par 5, not going to be too much of a bother. Park Min-ji making the big move this afternoon. 5 under for her day, into a share of 6. That's 6 under par, within 2 shots of your 3 co-leaders. Looks like it's just going to be a hybrid club for the layup. Asking for that to turn a little more. Not going to be a problem for Min-ji. Sung up ahead on the green. Wasn't her best wedge shot, but still a birdie look. Good roll. That's all you can do from outside of 18 feet. Just put a good stroke on it and sort of hope for the best, really. The par will do her card no damage, sitting in that share of 12. Here's Hyunjo also going with the rescue club. Left of the TV tower will be her start line. club face a little open. Looks a little weak and right, but stays out of real trouble. Here's Park Hye-jun. Every time we look up, it seems like she's putting for birdie. Hasn't made one since the 5th, though. And unfortunately, that run will continue. Been sliding back since making the turn. Lee Jae-hyun, here she is on 15. Oh, come on, Yeon. Gotta have this one, surely. Okay, rattles it into the back. Finally, the string of pars comes to an end with a birdie on 13. Here's Seo Jin, another player who's been on the par train, coming into the 15th. Should expect this one to be dancing around the pin the way that she's hit her wedges today. Probably the worst of the lot coming on this hole. Kang Chae-yeon made the turn at 1 under. Here she is on the first, her 10th hole of the day. That's a very nice shot into this back pin. Can she keep it going? Minji with a smooth wedge coming into 13. Oh, yes, she can. Hits the brakes a little early, but that's a beautiful shot and another excellent birdie look. Going to be a bit of an interesting one for Yoo Hyun-jo. Ball's going to be above her feet. Also sitting up a little in that right-hand rough. Easy to catch this off the top of the club, maybe even off the toe, and if that does happen, it's going to come out left and a little weak, so really got to make sure catch this one solid, start it far enough right, even though she's only got 60 meters. Yeah, made the right adjustments and plays a gorgeous shot. See if that birdie on 13 can kick Yeon into gear. Here she is on 14. Pretty good. Pretty good indeed. Jan also going with that rescue club, which she has used to pretty good effect thus far this back nine. To reiterate, with the softness of the greens, you don't have to try and calculate the bounce and release as much as you would have had to do just a week ago. Asher's year one's fine tee shot at this par 3. Well, the short and mid-range birdie putts have been scaring the hole. What can Solerjin do from longer range at this par 5? Lovely putt, good pace. Rock solid par again. Dare we think another's going to go in for Park Min-ji. You wouldn't put it past her in the mood that she's in today. Yes, for 3 in a row on 13. No, not this time. Always looked a little wide, unfortunately. Trying to round things out on 14. She's got 5 iron. So just trying to hold on through it, keep that club face open to produce that little cut. Yeah, 3 pretty good tee shots at the long par 3. Yu Hyun Jo after that magnificent little pitch. Convert for a birdie. That's a classy up and down that moves Yu Hyun Jo back to 5 under par. Yeah. To the other side of the golf course, Kang Chae-eun on 1. Ooh, grabbed a big piece of the hole. Left to right slider on 15 for Lee Ji-hyun. Oh, it was trying to hang on. Always looked like it was going to move off right, and then last couple of feet you thought maybe it might catch the edge, but unfortunately it's been the story of her back 9 so far. Close but no cigar. Putt's going to move pretty hard in the first third, then it will teeter downhill as it approaches the cup. Another really good putt that doesn't drop for Jenny Sung. Oh, she's been unlucky with a couple of those today. Now to the start of the back 9, and Shin Dae-in is just cruising at 7 under. Got a good look at the line. Jenny Sung's ball rolling very slowly towards that cup. She's got all the information. That's low. What a career this lady has had. Still got to feel that her best years are still in front of her. Park Min-ji. She's at the hot hand at Teddy Valley this afternoon, although Kim Rayan's just made the 6th birdie of the day to go 6 deep for day 2. ENG is on the move on Friday. 2 shots off the lead. She tries to play her way into contention for an unprecedented 21st tour title. Now, year 1. Got to start this far enough right because it moves left so quickly in the early portion. If you hit it too far right with too much pace, well, that happens. Unlucky. Just a little work to be done for Hyejun's part.
엣지 140이요?
Yep. And then
163.
got it.
No. And that's a real body blow for Park Hyejun. It's been so solid for most of the day, and an untimely 3-putt at the par 3 and it cost her a stroke. Don't expect to see this one missing for year 1. Year on year, one of the best and most consistent putters on tour. Consolidates the birdie on 13 with a par at 14. After a bit of a wait, featured group back on the tee. Should be set to go, and that's what the players face. The aerial view up ahead. It's kidney-shaped green. It sort of angles away towards the back left corner. Pinned today on that right half of the middle section of the green. It's not the first time today she seems to just come over the top a little. Club face shuts down and pops one up high left. Again, just good enough ball striker where she's not going to pay too steep of a fine. Still pin high, still a birdie putt. Here's Minji. To get this close, she's really got to start it almost off the right edge of the green. Trying to hoop it in. Nice, that's real nice from Park Min-ji. She's in that flow state. And she could very well be one off the pace. And she walks off this green. Lovely tee shot. Oh, Shin Dae-in. Slow putt for the back edge of 10. Good effort. Coming off that irritating 3-putt, back on 3 under par now. Playing solid, so too Seo-jin, but you could see the name of Park Min-ji creep onto that first page of the leaderboard shortly. The 20-time champion with a putt coming up to get to 7 under par. Here's Soyojin. Couple of holes left to play to try and break out of that tie for the lead that she has been stuck in since we came on air just over 2 hours ago. That's a good shot on the long 16th. Now to the second, and here's Kang. Got that one to stop on a dime. Birdie opportunity will be coming up shortly. Year one coming off a little downslope here on 15 for the layup. So knock that ball flight down, be running a little more. Par 3, Yu-Hyun Jo. Putt that comes just a little up the hill for birdie. A big cheer rings out. I'm sure we'll find out the cause of that in a couple of moments' time. It's not putting off Hyun Jo though. Oh, beautiful roll. Here's Jenny Sung now, also laying up. Just in that first cut of rough, but not going to really bother Park Hye-jin too much, especially this just being a layup. Threw herself after that one. Gets a nice kick off the edge of that fairway too, so nicely positioned. Flirting with danger, E.G. here on 16. This is her third shot, so I assume she's gone into the bushes and taken it unplayable. Dropping out here, and she's going to have that for par. So Park Min-ji to get back on the birdie train to move within one shot of the championship lead. Oof. Tough watch there, set it up with a great tee shot. It wasn't her most convincing stroke. Golfers always feel like they leave shots out at the golf course. Park Min-ji, boy, she has hit some good putts today. She could very well be 9 under, for all you know. A couple of those putts drop. Hey, coulda, woulda, shouldas. Common tale in the game of golf is Kang Chae-yeon just slides that by at the second for birdie. Here's Shin Dae-in just at the start of the back nine, second into 11. A very good one at that. fairway found for Yu Hyun-jo. Interesting shape. The first two pages of the leaderboard, Moon Jung-min, the only one amongst the three co-leaders who has a tour title. Sokyo Rim's obviously been playing very good golf with 2 victories this year. Last year's Rookie of the Year at 7 under par. Then a bunch of untested names, and of course Park Min-ji, who's got more victories than all of them put together. Keeping interested at 6 under as that tee shot just scampers into the left rough. Year 1 into 15. Should be a comfortable gap wedge from 95 meters up the hill. Soa Jin, you're on 16. Steady, albeit slightly unspectacular round of golf she's piecing together. Bogey free, but just the 2 birdies. Another really good putt. It's just going to be another par. That's going to be 9 in a row now. Not that you hear her complaining. Every time you're tied for the lead in a championship, you know you're doing something right. Now for par back at the second, Cheon. Yeah, no mistakes. Left rough is where we find Chen Sung for 3rd to the 15th. Front hole location, got to stop this one with height. You're not going to get much spin from that rough. Lee Ji-hyun, this would be some par save on 16 after that unplayable lie. That's a pretty good try from that upper level. It's going to be yet another drop shot. Park Hye-jun should get some spin on this. Pitch it. Oh, didn't like it. Leading edge dug in very quick there. Shut the club face down. Still finds the green. The price for an errant tee shot. Bogey 5, 3rd of the inward half. Lee Ji-hyun. killer for Jenny Sung on 15. Moves a little right, but a little less than players initially read. Oh, I thought that was going to drop. Great effort from Jun. She's played steady today. Too many mistakes. Last bogey, her only bogey, coming back at the par 3 third. Let's go to Shin Dae-in, who's got a very good opportunity to make it a quartet at 8 under. Here she is on 11. 4 players now tied for the lead at 8 under par. Shin Dae-in had to remain patient, but she has a second birdie of the day, and she has a share of the lead. It's Park Ye-jin. Maybe fractionally up the hill, but certainly but wants to slide to her right. She just forgot the uphill part. That's tentative. Origin on the 17th of that beautiful BMW i5 hole-in-one prize. 6-iron, the choice of club for her. Needs to just hang on that fringe. Yep, gets a little kiss off the cushion, and thankfully the right side of that slope. Here's year one. Tickle you, little one, down the slope on the par 5 15th. Lovely try. It's just one of those days where you just feel like you're grinding away, giving yourself chances. So important to remain patient, not try and force the issue. When you're only 5 off the lead. Now back down to the layup of Yoo Hyun-jo, just going with a long iron. Trying to keep it in between those cross bunkers, about 100 yards short of the putting green. Started right, but it's turning back. Yeah, absolutely no harm done. Just from the left rough, it's going to force her out a little more towards that right-hand trap. The lie looks pretty decent. Go to that par 3 third. Catch up with Kang Chae-yun. Putt now. Sung Yoo-jin on 16. Got to send it out almost. I would say you've got to kiss it off the fringe on that right-hand side. Once it gets to that apex, it'll start to come downhill and really move hard to her left. Real feel putt. Start to come left there. Should start to gather pace. Beautiful. Look at this. Oh, what a two! From Sung Yoo-jin. Absolutely gorgeous birdie there. Give her a large bucket of balls. Probably wouldn't make another one like that. No wonder she's smiling. Back down to the 15th. Park Min-ji trying to keep her foot on the gas pedal. She's going to be first to play her third shot. Coming downhill on the 17th for Seo-jin. Keep going. Another good pace putt. And another stress-free par. Here's Yeonjo on 15. Should just be a little off-speed wedge from here. One-handed release. She kept the face square enough. I've seen a couple of poor ones today, but it really paid too steep of a price. This is going to require some touch for Kang Chae-eun at the third. Everything slopes away from her towards the pin. Delicately played. Excellent shot. Ji-Yeon back on the 17th, right to lefter. Trying to get this round back under control again. Yeah, well done. Good birdie. First of the back nine comes at a vital time. That'll move her to 5 under par alongside Yoo Hyun-jo. Four-way tie for the lead now at 8 under par. Shin Dae-in joining the party with a birdie on 11. finds herself at 5 under par. With only 13 women to cross the 1 billion Korean won single season earnings mark. Did that 2 years ago, Yoo Hyun Jo. To start moving right. Oh, it was always a little pacey coming off the putter face. JejuSamdasoo, long 16th, and that hybrid club is certainly getting a workout today. ENG. Didn't look overly convinced at that putt when it left the putter face. Going to be another par. With a share of the lead now. Here she is on 12. Home hole now for Seo-jin. One last chance to find a birdie on Friday. Off to a good start. First part of the equation done with the fairway found. Jo with more than she bargained for par. Slips it in the side door. After that remarkable birdie on 16, here she is on 17. Better and better. Brilliant. JejuSamdasoo, long right to left across the green here at the par 4. Another really nicely worked out putt for pace. ENG just trying to avoid that right-hand fairway trap. That's all you're trying to do off this tee at 16. Sticking with that 3-wood. It's worked pretty well for her in her career thus far, Hyun Jo. 16th green and year one. It's about 30 feet away. She only do so much, and she is giving it everything, but only has one birdie to show for it in this second round. Not a bad score on this 16th hole, one of the longer par fours at this Teddy Valley layout. Let's go to the last and Soerjin. Just got to make sure you get it on that upper level of this two-tiered green. 7-iron from 131 should be plenty of club to do that. Yes, good shot. Shouldn't die in. Little right to left in this look on the 12th. But on the way at 16 for Park Hye-jin. Pace looks decent. Line just a little low. Pretty routine cleanup for Jenny Sung. Yep, in she goes. And after the monster birdie putt on 16, a much more simple conversion. Look at that back nine from Sung Yoo-jin. Now 4 under par for the day and the championship. Into the top 15 she goes as we return to our featured group on this 16th hole. Just don't want to go long into this pin position today. A little short, little right, that's okay. Again, there's something that Yoo Hyun-jo is just not happy with. Once again, doesn't leave it in an awful spot just off the left-hand side. Here's Minji. Ample room in which to start this to the right of the pin. Try and shape that draw back towards the target. Come back a little off that slope. It's going to try. Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. Keep feeding. Keep feeding. Oh, it's beautiful. One of the best we've seen into this par 4. Now to the tee at 17. The air 1. A little left of this pin. There is that slope which Sung Yoo-jin used to great effect. too far left. Oh, it's going to get a little help. Not bad. Get out to the fourth. Sang Chae-Yeon going to have a crack in two. Got all of that one. Two good hits. So, one final chance for birdie for Seo Er-jin. And one more just comes up shy. Well, that is a very solid round of golf. Came into the day in a share of the lead. Looks like she will end her day, at least for the moment, still tied at the top. A round of 70 for Seo. Jenny Sung, looks like she's got 5-iron in her hands, and that should be a good club for her. This would pitch it, as long as she hits it solid, about 6-8 paces short of pin height. Coming in with this club, it's going to be a little flatter. Should have a little forward kick when it hits the green. Got plenty of height on it. There's that forward kick. And that is going to be okay. Jae-Hyun. A torrid back nine, but birdied 17. Chance to finish with back-to-back birdies. Yeah, quite the roller coaster she's been on today, but ultimately tots up to 1 under par round of 71. Nice close to day 2 for Lee Jae-Hyun. With that birdie, there are now 7 players at 6 under par. Here's one of them, Sang Chae-Yeon. That swale that she's got to negotiate. Good amount of right to left in this as it comes up and over that knuckle. Going to be pretty quick in the second half of its journey too. A little too high and a little too hard. Poor effort really after 2 excellent shots. Just coming off the edge of the green at 16 is going to be Yoo Hyun-Jo. I believe she's getting free relief from a sprinkler head that is impeding her stance, so she'll get nearest point of relief and then drop it within a 1 club length radius from that, no nearer the hole. The ball's rolled forward twice, so she can now place it, and that ball is now in play. Oh, wedge in hand, and I think that's the right play for her. Don't want a chance trying to get a putter to roll smoothly through good 7-8 feet of fringe. You'd have to hit it hard to get it to roll through that area with plenty of friction. And then you come onto the green, it's a little downhill, so chipping it much better. You take out the bumps and you do get a little check. And it does hit the green. Classy shot, very well played. Funnily enough, even though she was about 3 inches off the edge of the green with her second shot, this counts as a missed green for Kang Chae-eun. Still, reasonable chance for birdie. Gentle bit of movement to her right, ever so slightly downhill. Kim Min-sun might be feeling like she's been left in the dust with the great scoring of her two playing partners, Yoo Hyun-jo and Park Min-ji, but she's still in red figures and has this putt from right around 40 feet for a birdie at the 16th. Yeah, good pace. Go to Diane at the par 5 13th with her third. Should get a lot of spin on this wedge. Yeah, excellent. Could have an outright leader in a couple of moments' time. That's a 16 and the shortest birdie putt we've seen all day on this hole. Coming downhill. So the pace is built into this one for Park Min-ji. Just got to start it on the right line. Should be fractionally outside right edge. She's got herself another one. Park Min-ji moves to 7 under par alongside Saw Kyo Rim. That second shot deserved the 3, you have to say. Brilliantly crafted. And a well-played hole. JejuSamdasoo right to left on 17. It's going to be another par. That's a nice up and down for Yoo Hyun-jo. Keeps her 5 under. Back to 17 and Yeowon just trying to knock this one in to keep the bogeys off her card. Solid 2-putt. What she tends to do, she's just lurking, not making any big mistakes. Just keeping pace, giving herself a chance. A lot can happen in a very short space of time. Shin Dae-in with a putt coming up on the 13th to break out of that 4-way tie for the lead. 2 under par, bogey-free 70. See Seo Jin join Chae Jung-won and Moon Jung-min in the clubhouse at 8 under par. She was in the mix through 36 holes last week, ENG, they just sort of fell away on the weekend. But she's got herself into contention again. I'll tell you what, for a player that went winless last season, battled a couple of swing changes, some negative thoughts, got that elusive 20th title earlier on this year, and she appears to be back to her best this Friday afternoon. 6 under for the day, within one shot for the moment of the 4 co-leaders. Gonna take that little turn to the right. Yep. Minjee, another birdie opportunity. Now, Hyunjo. It's a little higher than Minjee. Should come to a stop a lot quicker. That's another beautiful tee shot, almost as good as Seungwoo Jin's. Sun did tap in for her par back on 16 to remain 1 under. It's just seen 2 beautiful tee shots by her playing partners. Leading them, that's just a hair right. Still on the green. 2 good birdie looks and an outside chance for these ladies on the penultimate hole. And it has been quite the day for Park Min-ji. 71 yesterday. Wasted no time in getting off the mark. This was a glorious shot into the opening hole. Knew it was going to get a little bit of jump and release coming from that rough. Played for it. And she really set the tone early doors with this birdie to get day 2 underway. And why stop at 1? You can make it back to back. She was at the second. All over the target. Such a nice way to ease into your round. Kick in birdie there. And then at the par 3 third. The longest putt she had to hole. Min-ji would go 3 for 3. He was off to the races Friday at Teddy Valley. Unfortunately, would drop a shot at the reachable par 5 fourth, but then got back to business here at the 5th. So very nearly canned it for an eagle too. But the putter remained hot, and Minjee got herself back to 4 under. And then had really good looks at 8, 9, 10, and finally 1 would go here on 11. Wasted little time in picking up another good shot into 12 and a nice conversion. just moments ago. Probably one of the shots of the day, her second to the 16th. And then, like I said a little earlier, that second shot deserved the birdie 3. Park Min-ji making all the right moves on Friday. She's up to 7 under par and, well, has a putt to get to 8 under par very shortly. But first, Shin for the outright lead. Oh, that is a huge opportunity. Missed for Shin. JejuSamdasoo on the home hole. She's doing all day long, just finding fairways. First putt for birdie on 17 is Kim Min-sun from the right edge of the green. Just a gentle uphill slope all the way to negotiate. That was a positive putt. Good try. So this will make it 5 players at 8 under par. Just slides it low. Good try though. Tried it, had a peek. Still, excellent golfing today. A little wide for JejuSamdasoo. And you following that excellent second tee shot. You'd love to inch yourself a little closer. Heading into the weekend, this is a good opportunity to do so, but always a little awkward putting through your own shadow. It should be just outside left lip. Yeah, confidently stroked into the bottom of the cup for Yoo Hyun-jo. Nice birdie, goes to 3 under on the day. Jae-yun on 5. Just a little left for par. Well, the putter's been called. We'll see if the wedge can give Jenny Sung a closing birdie. Here she is at 18. Keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. It had the line. That's a pretty solid round of golf. 69 for Jenny Sung today, going alongside her opening round of 71 inside the top 20 at the halfway stage. Must be a bottomless bucket of snacks because Minji's been chomping on that for the last 9 holes and she's still going at it. But hey, if it's yielding as many birdies, why stop now? Yeah, one similar spot to Isang, maybe a little easier actually. Flat lie, pretty straight. Once it gets on the green, only thing is it's just gently downhill, but I don't think it's going to get away from her too much. It's a lovely try, but just a little knee knocker left for a 71. Coming up the slope, so going to be slow. Yeah, good effort. Final hole of the day for today's featured group. Yoo Hyun Jo now finds herself in a share of 7th. This one's a little right. Okay, avoids that fairway bunker and sits up nicely in that right-hand rough. One final hole to go for Park Min-ji. Currently shares 5th with Seok Hyo-rim. of the day thinking about that cut line, but some solid golf from Kim Min Sun has made the task a lot easier. It looks like that cut will be settled at 1 over par. So the 2 overs going to be missing out. Park for her par. Slots that in the side door. Year 1 for a 71. Steady round of golf. Just 1 birdie against 17 pars. Year 1 enters the weekend at 3 under par. The only thing warmer than the weather today has been the scoring of Park Min-ji. 6 under for her second round. Playing her way right into the thick of the action at the halfway stage of the 13th JejuSamdasoo Masters. It's always been hugely impressive and a whole lot of fun to watch. Min-ji, the pleasure of calling several of her victories, some of them epic playoff triumphs as well. 13 victories between herself and Yoo Hyun-jo. Won the inaugural DB Women's Championship at Rainbow Hills back at the end of April, beginning of May. She currently sits 4th on the money list. It's been the Park Min-ji show here on Friday, and you'd love to see this excellent run continue over the next 36 holes, well, 36 and a half holes, if we're being accurate. Who doesn't love to see a little bit of history being made if she were to go on and win this championship come Sunday evening? What a story that would be. Here she is, playing her second to the last. Oh, what a beautiful second it is as well for Park Min-ji. So, a chance for a closing birdie. Kim Min Sun 7, much better angle. And Min-ji doesn't have to come over those right-hand bunkers, can pretty much take it right up the throat of the green. That's a beautiful shot. Wasting little time from the right rough. Hyun-jo. It wasn't a bad shot, not from that angle. despite that victory at the MBN Ladies Open back in May, Minjee outside the top 15 on the money list. Go back to the 14th and Shindai in from off the edge of the green at the par 3. Nicely worked out. Apart from that victory, just 2 other top 10s for Park Min-ji. There's 3 cuts in her season thus far. Slightly thinner crowds out on a Friday evening. Just inch towards 5:15 local time here in Jeju, but you know that is to be expected when you're not contesting the KLPGA Championship on the main island of South Korea. Jeju just sitting off the southern tip of the peninsula. Short little hour flight from Gimpo Airport. A popular tourist destination. Jeju, so much to offer for the entire family here. And if you're a golfer or a golf fanatic, it's a pretty nice place to come. So we go back to 14 for Shindai-in's par. Keep your focus on these. Still needs to be started on the left edge and struck with conviction. Nicely holed after the little miss on 13. It's a good solid par at the 14th. Ryan bogey free on the day. Now to Hyun Jo for a closing birdie. To be. Still, that's a nice round of golf. A pair of 69s to start the week. So does Minjee have one more little highlight for us at the end of play Friday evening? A chance for an unprecedented 8th birdie of the day. This would be the new low round of the week for a 65 and a share of the lead. She's done it. Of course she's done it. Park Min-ji, stunning round of golf. 65. Now makes it 5 players at 8 under par. And a round that ends on the note it deserves to end on. An emphatic closing birdie for Park Min-ji, who will go into the weekend at 8 under par, seeking a 21st title of her career. For a birdie of her own. Kim Min-sun. Great second, nice closing birdie. That's a pretty good round of golf from Kim Min-sun as well. These three players have combined for 13 under par. Excellent stuff indeed, but that is going to be the story going into moving day. Park Min-ji off the back of that 65, chasing a record-breaking 21st KLPGA Tour title. One of 5 players tied at 8 under par at the halfway stage of the JejuSamdasoo Masters. Been a brilliant days of golf here on the island. Looking forward to your company tomorrow afternoon here at Teddy Valley. Bye-bye for now.